causing a lot of systemic inflammation in our body. So the predominantly affected organ is the lungs. So it's causing a lot of inflammation in the lungs. So a lot of people, we are noticing a lot of patches, lung patches, which so CT has become a mandatory these days. So any patient who's been affected, so they've been advised to take CT, even if their symptoms are not very severe, even if they have milder symptoms, they've been advised to take CT, and then based on the percentage of patches in the lungs, the treatment is decided whether the patient has to stay at home or whether the patient has to be hospitalized. So it looks like it's a predominant inflammation which is happening in the lungs. So how will this, so these lung patches, will they have any long-term effects? So even after we recover from corona, are these lung patches going to have any long-term effects on our lungs? And is there anything which oxygen therapy can do about these lung patches after we recover from corona? And is there anything which it can do, like to prevent any long-term side effects or long-term effects of these lung patches?
It's very interesting you asked that, because the lung patch and the severity of the disease, there seems to be some kind of a mismatch. So there are people who have been asymptomatic, tested positive, but when you do the CT, they have the ground glass opacity that is there, it's there. At the same time, there are people who have had the disease and it's gone to stage 3, stage 4, severe kind of impact. So from a data perspective that we have right now, we know that even in mild and asymptomatic patient, it seems to cause some kind of that opacity. Now, how long this opacity is going to last and how long this will cause any kind of fibrosis that can cause problems is something we have to wait to find out. But what we know now is that patches for people, even sometimes who have had mild or asymptomatic cases of COVID, seems to be there, which means that this COVID is causing that and it's staying long after the patient recovers from the disease itself. In general, hyperbaric oxygen itself helps in those patches. Yeah. So for people who had mild, moderate diseases, I think theoretically we can be reasonably sure that going through the therapy properly, because hyperbaric oxygen is something that you need to take consistently. You can't take one session and get rid of it, and even when you take it, it has to be taken 5 continuously. So with different stages, if somebody has very mild ground glass appearance, stage 1, about 5-10 sessions should do, and it will prevent them from developing maybe problematic long-term issues. Somebody who has much more, then they might need more sessions at a higher pressure. Normally we do about 1.3 for these preventive things. We might have to push it up to 1.5, the pressure to sort of reverse this. So these are answers that we'll have to wait to see how this works in the long term. But from our previous experiences with inflammation and lung patches, we know that using hyperbaric oxygen will definitely help in reducing the long-term impact of this inflammation, especially when it comes to the lung, because oxygen clearly goes straight into your lungs at a higher pressure. So this is in a nutshell about how this can help with the specific question you asked about this. The important thing here is even asymptomatic patients have had ground glass symptoms. So if somebody said that I just had fever for a day or two, it went away, and I didn't get tested.
So generally saying that once you develop these lung patches, the patches are going to be there. These patches are going to cause some damage to the lungs, which is going to be with us. So we have to live with that. So do you think this oxygen therapy is going to reduce or any alter the damage which has happened to the lungs?
Yeah. So once it reaches the fibrosis stage, there's really nothing much we can do. The earlier stages, at the inflammatory stage, you can try and reduce the inflammation. So if somebody
prevent it from going to
into becoming worse, so somebody had a severe COVID, then the role of oxygen may be limited. But this, I think, plays a bigger role in somebody who was either asymptomatic or had mild symptoms, because then if they have the inflammation, this can definitely kind of prevent the progression to a certain extent. More than reverse. So remember, we are talking about prevention, and here we are talking about secondary prevention. How to prevent it from becoming worse. If it touches fibrosis, I think medically we don't have any answer today.